Well, I'm joined now by David Tembe, who's Joburg Public Safety, a member of the mayoral committee. Mr. Tembe, thank you so much for your time. I wonder if you can just update us on the damage to homes. How many homes are damaged? Which areas are we talking about?
Thanks so much for having me, Sally. 169 formal houses have been destroyed, and 60 shacks have also been destroyed. And then people that are affected is about 639 from Region C and Region C, D, and G. Okay, so those are the places that have been.
Region C, D, and E, which areas are those?
Region D is Soweto. Region G is Orange Farm, and Region C is part of Rodeport.
Okay, all right, so that's quite a few people, 639 people you say affected, 169 formal homes damaged, 60 shacks swept away. Talk to me about those over 600 people. Are you providing shelter for any of them this evening?
Yes, we are providing shelter. At the moment, I'm at Rodeport. I've been with the MMC for transport, Fonzingoveni. I was at Old Aroro Park, whereby we are giving them blankets, mattresses, and food. So, even including Kliptown, whereby we have got people that have got shelter, that we are giving them blankets, food, and medicine, those that are running short of medicine.
So obviously of the 639 people who've been affected by the flooding, not all of them need the city to make a plan in terms of accommodation. Some of them, I would imagine, are staying with family and friends. How many people is the city looking after tonight?
At the moment, the total that we have that have been counted is 630. This is the same one that I've given you, 639. All of them, they need the city's assistance.
Okay, I understand. I want to know if Eskom has responded to the city. I know that you're on the mayoral committee, and the mayor this morning sent out an impassioned plea saying, please, Eskom, give us 3 days without load shedding, because we cannot fix lines when the power is down. You need an active line, power line. And of course, you're battling the elements as well, not to mention crime. Has there been any response from Eskom?
At the moment, we haven't heard anything. The mayor has been informed us because we've been on the road. We've been in the street the whole day. But we'll find out later on when we discuss it with the mayor. We'll let you know.
Okay. Isn't it within your power for the areas that City Power supplies to, as the City of Johannesburg, isn't it within your power to say to City Power, look, just ignore the Eskom schedule for now, get on with the fixes?
No, it's not within our powers to do that. We can't ignore Eskom when it comes to the supply. We have to talk to them. It's part of the government, so we have to talk to them.
All right, so we know that we've just had a look at our weather forecast, and it looks like there is a fair amount of rain still ahead this week in and around Johannesburg. Talk to me about the areas that you're most concerned about at the moment and what the plans are.
Yes, I'm concerned about Alexander, Eldorado Park, Klipspruit, and the Soweto. Where I am right now when I'm talking to you, we have closed the road at Florida, that the vehicles mustn't cross because it is not safe for them to cross because of the bridge that can collapse at any time. So we're here to witness it and to ensure that people are safe. They mustn't cross over this bridge.
How concerned are you about the city's infrastructure at this time? We're just hearing so many problems that Johannesburg is facing, that the power outages always cause problems on the grid around Johannesburg, because the on-again, off-again nature of severe power cuts in particular often means that there are breakages in the system. Added to that, of course, the rain has just made it very, very difficult to do any repair work at all. And of course, we've also heard that the teams trying to fix infrastructure are also sometimes under attack. How concerned are you about the city's infrastructure this evening?
I'm very much concerned because when you look at it, crime flourishes where there's darkness. And there are so many things that we are having this load shedding. Apart from the load shedding, we have got infrastructure vandalism. So in the dark, people steal the cables, and in the dark, that's where things are happening. So I'm concerned because crime itself flourishes because of the darkness.
Do you know if there's going to be any extra policing? We have spoken to the police commissioner for the province, and we know that there are going to be more boots on the ground over the festive season in Johannesburg, where we've seen crime spiral over 17% year on year. So talk to me about attempts to keep vulnerable communities safe, given this confluence of adverse circumstances.
Yes, I'm of the view that SAPS and Johannesburg Metro Police, they must strengthen the visibility, because once the people see the blue lights and see us on the ground, crime won't be that much. It won't flourish because people will know that we are protected. We don't have to wait to react. We have to be visible so that wherever if there are criminality, they must know that we are there and they are going to protect the people. What I foresee is that us from JMPD, all the places, our hotspots, we are going to put our members. If need be, we'll have to pull overtime.
You mentioned that you're in the Florida area and you said there's a real danger of the bridge there, that it's going to collapse. Could you talk to me about the situation on the roads around Johannesburg? Are you able to give me a number of how many roads are closed or in danger of perhaps collapse?
Yeah, I've got only this one. That's why I'm here. I'm with MMC Ngoveni, who is the MMC for transport and road infrastructure.
Okay. And just what should we as Johannesburg residents brace for, given that the rain continues?
What I can say is that if you see that if you don't cross the bridge that is you are not sure of, just be careful if there's a lot of water. Just be careful. And there's one thing that I've realized: these churches that goes to these rivers and pray and do something, baptize some people, they must stop it. I was approached today that we'll have to arrest them, because right now, even that we had people who died in Alexander, they're still continuing going there, pray and baptize people. So I think the law must take in that regard.
Last week, Monday, Tuesday, we spoke to the Weather Service and they told us of this orange warning, level 6, which meant that the dangers of flooding in the Johannesburg area and Gauteng were very, very high. When you heard that warning, what plans were put in place to make sure that the residents of Johannesburg would be safe?
In 2 weeks before, the last 2 weeks, we've been going all out and warn the community. We had a campaign warning the community about the flood. And we made it sure that should there be anything that they see suspiciously, or maybe there's something that they suspect that there can be flood, they must phone 011-375-5911. And if they are staying in a place whereby they suspect that there can be flood, they must immediately move to the high ground or stay on a high ground. They must continue checking the media for emergency information. They must follow instructions from public safety officials. If advised to evacuate, they must do so immediately.
Have you issued, sorry, I just need to jump in here because at that point it sounds like most of the onus has been put on citizens. What has the city of Joburg done proactively to tell people to evacuate? How many people have you evacuated fearing flooded areas, for example?
Yeah, at the moment, as I've said, it's only this 639 that I've talked about.
Yeah, but they were evacuated after their houses flooded. What proactive measures have you taken to get people out of areas where you knew they were going to be vulnerable, given that early last week we already knew that there were high alerts on weather?
Yeah, that's why I said we're on a campaign, going on and educate the people that should there be any floods, if ever it rains, and teaching them what to do. So we've been doing it ever since we knew that there might be some flood coming.
Thank you for talking to us, David Tembe, Joburg Public Safety member of the mayoral committee. So there's still some very serious concerns in and around Johannesburg. The areas he's most concerned about: Alexandra, Eldorado Park, Klipspruit, Soweto, and currently in Florida, where there's a real danger that the bridge there is going to collapse.